don't even know how to process life right now.
Hey everyone, welcome back to the Food Fun series. I'm just going to give you a brief little intro to our video. So this week we are traveling to faraway lands. We're doing the fast food fried chicken challenge. So we went to 4 places. We went to 1, Mary Brown's, which will be right here. We went to 2, Popeyes. We went to 3, KFC. And we went to 4, Church's Chicken. So here are the experiences that we had at these 4 places. Big shout out to Janelle. She was my camera lady. She was my rock. We got through a lot of chicken, and after we were done, we were done. We were like tired, but it was an enjoyable day. Shout out to all the places. They made delicious chicken. I'm rambling. Let's get to the part. Be open.
Okay, so at Mary Brown's now, we got a 2-piece meal, but they have a special here that you get the 2-piece with tater tots. So when eating the tater tots, we take a bite and we realize that it tastes nutty. So if you are allergic to nuts, don't eat a Mary Brown's. But other than that, it tastes good right now. We're here in Starbucks because we just came out of Mary Brown's, so I'm just gonna give you my honest opinion about the chicken experience so far. So starting with number 1, crispiness. On a level of 1 to 10, I'm gonna give it about a 7 because it was crispy, but it wasn't like super crispy and it wasn't soggy. Number 2 is shape and size. So when I actually opened up the box, I was surprised by the amount of chicken there was in comparison to the tater tots. The shape of the chicken was actually quite nice. The thigh part was actually quite big and the wing part was a decent sized wing. So in terms of shape and size, I'm gonna give it about an 8 out of 10 because typically you might get like small chicken, you might get big chicken, and it was right in the middle, nice, shapely, and it looked good. 3 is tender and juicy. So first impression, I open up the box and I realize, okay, what am I dealing with right now? Usually I get the 2-piece with the fries, but I'm doing 2-piece with the tater tots, so it gives me a little bit of a different experience, and I chose wrong. The tater tots kind of threw off the chicken experience. I don't know if it was the batter or if it was the oil or a combination of the two, but there was definitely a taste or an aftertaste that caused me when I actually went into the chicken. I still have that aftertaste. Chicken was cooked well through. In terms of the amount of oil that was on the chicken, there wasn't that much oil, which is nice. I took off the top layer, kind of did like a little dabble, and there wasn't that much oil in comparison to most chicken when it's being cooked. So in terms of tenderness and juiciness, I'm gonna give it about a 6 out of 10. Actually, I would have given it higher if it wasn't for the tater tots, but I'm gonna keep it at 6 just because that was the deal. It is tater tots and chicken. And our final category is price point. And when I mean blessings. So I looked at my receipt and I'm just like, what a blessing. It's $5. So with taxes it was $5.65. If you have $5, it doesn't hurt. So out of price point, I'd definitely give it a 9 out of 10, just because if you walk in with a $10 bill, you can eat and you still have change for a snack or a meal for the rest of the day. On our way to our next stop, which is Popeyes, which is literally just next door. Okay, so I'm gonna take a bite, then I'm gonna experience it. Let's go.
Look at this girl.
That's cute. And no, I'm not even addressing this.
Go ahead.
Oh. Sorry. We just finished our Popeyes. Popeyes was delicious. Just like last time with the first video in our Food Fun series, we split the meals so that we can actually finish all 4. I'm not here by myself. Janelle is back there, so she is supporting me with the food as well as the mental fortitude to get through all this chicken. One was the crispiness. So when we opened the box, it's the typical Popeye smell. Just it was fantastic. So went for the chicken first. The crispiness was on point, slightly better than Mary Brown's. So I'm gonna give it an 8 out of 10, just because I did give Mary Brown's a 7, and the crispiness, like you saw, that there's a different layering. There's like you could see like certain areas were like pulling off certain things, and there's like crispiness on crispiness. It was actually lovely to look at and to taste. Number 2, shape and size. So we're dealing with a whole new monstrosity on this one. With the first store, Mary Brown's, they gave us a thigh and a wing. When I actually realized that when we got in here, I'm like, oh wow, they give us a wing instead of a leg, which is typically what comes with a 2-piece. And that's probably why the price point was a little lower. So in terms of shape and size, the shape and size was bigger here, and it looked fantastic. In terms of the proportion to what was in the box itself, it took up the majority of the box. So it was a good shape. There was a leg and thigh, so I'm gonna give it a 8 out of 10. 3 is tenderness and juicy. And I have 4 words, actually no, let's make it 5 words to describe the tenderness and juicy. It's called juicy, 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 and tender. Like you can bite into the chicken and you could just taste the tenderness all the way down to the bone, like just to the point where you can almost bite into the bone because you don't want to leave any morsel of chicken on the bone. It was throughout cooked fantastically. I would say it was a little slightly oilier than Mary Brown's, but that's just typical Popeyes. It is slightly oily, so you just gotta dab it a little bit in order to pick off some of the oil. So in terms of the tenderness and juiciness, I'm gonna give it an 8 out of 10. It was fantastic. It's Popeyes. Okay, our final category is price point. This is what you're all waiting for. With taxes included, it was $9.71 for the total. Now, I thought that was a lot in comparison to Mary Brown's, but then I took into fact that with Mary Brown's, I only got the chicken and the tater tots, which was $5.65, and then I added a water later, and it was up to $7.75. So if I actually were to have fries and an actual leg, it would be about a comparable. With that point being said, Popeyes did have a biscuit in their combo. In terms of the wing to leg ratio, that affected their score. And in terms of the fries to tater ratio, they had a lot more fries in this than if they had the taters in Mary Brown's. And also, I got a water with there, and I got an actual drink here. So if I got an actual drink at Mary Brown's, it would have been actually a little bit more. So in terms of price point, I'm gonna give Popeyes a 7 out of 10 just because it's okay. Like, I don't wanna give anyone a $10 bill to eat for lunch, but if it's $10, it's $10. I'll just do that maybe like once or twice. So we're on the corner of Steeles and Main at the KFC. You know where it's typically hidden beside the Burrito Boys? I'm gonna try it out. You know, as a kid, we used to go to Toonie Tuesdays on Tuesdays and pick up, yes, there was Toonie Tuesdays when I was a kid. I'm not that old. But anyways, we used to bring like a toonie and like 13 cents. I remembered it exactly. It was $2.13, and we bring our stuff and we eat it. So you know what? I felt like I wanted to be nostalgic and go back to my first love, other than the chicken at home, but KFC.
You can't even close it. Look at that.
Ah, look at this cookie too. Bless. So we're going to experience the KFC. This is making me feel really nostalgic. So let's try this.
Whoa, that crisp.
Bro. Oh man. I'm gonna talk to you guys later. It's too good to wait.
Like, this chicken is so good. We are typing in the code at the bottom of the receipt just to get more chicken. It's
Upgrade
so good,
chicken
right?
though, yeah.
Like,
So
honestly,
good.
It was bad because like we're done the chicken and everything else is here.
Like look how much like
Everything
fries.
else, look at that. It's bad. All of it is just in the bag, just waiting.
The bones.
Waiting the bones. Like I bit in so hard. Like I bit in so hard that I kind of bit right into the bone.
Yeah, we're getting our chicken pepper chicken.
How's the bread?
Yummy.
Right? So as Janelle goes to go grab her food, because we filled up the thing at the bottom and we realized that we can get more chicken, I'm just gonna do a quick review. So based off of crispiness, the crispiness was fantastic. I wrote on here that the skin was excellent. The layering wasn't that much, but the skin being crispy and thick made up for the fact that there wasn't that much layering, so that was the good thing. In terms of shape and size, the shape and size was fantastic. Hold on, she's back, so we're gonna switch back to the regular way it was, you know? So, as I was saying before, now we're on shape and size. The size of the combo was fantastic. So there's two combos that we could have chose. We could have chose the fill-up combo, which we did, or the regular two-piece combo, which is on the top in the menu. We went with the fill-up just because it was dark meat, and if you wanted white meat, you can upgrade it for like $3 extra. I don't care. Chicken is chicken. White meat, black meat, dark meat, red meat, pink meat, yellow meat. Actually, not yellow meat, but I like meat, so it didn't matter about the dark meat. I'm a dark dude. I like dark meat. So the size and the shape was fantastic. There was good portion size. That we got the thigh, we got the leg, and it was fantastic. So I'm definitely gonna give that. Let's say, where's my pen? I'm gonna give that like a solid 9 out of 10. I have a feeling that this, because of the nostalgia and the taste, it's really bringing me back and making me really enjoy our visit here today. So in terms of tenderness and juicy, so we just came from Popeyes where it was juicy, and tender. Here, it's all about that first crunch, because this is the nostalgia pick for me. When I first bit into the chicken, I actually went so far into the chicken I bit a little bit of the bone. Like it was so good. Like the tenderness was good. Like in terms of flavoring, if you want flavor, you want to go to more of a high end place. If you want that like nice thick skin with general flavor, general seasoning, like I feel like KFC is a good one. So in terms of tenderness, juiciness, it wasn't too oily actually. It was oily of course, but it wasn't as oily as like Mayor Brown's. Is on the level of Popeyes. Like there's a thin layer of oil underneath the skin, which is expected. It's being fried. So in terms of that, I would give it an 8 out of 10 for tenderness and juiciness. I'm just gonna refresh myself with some Pepsi product. If you looked at my last video, I no longer work at Coke, so I can dabble in the Pepsi. I don't like it or love it, but I did get Dr. Pepper, because Dr. Pepper is bomb. But anyways, price point. We're now at that thing where it's like, oh Jazz, how much did you pay for this meal? So for my meal, not including the one that we got here, so we got the 2 pieces of chicken, we got the fries, we got the bread, which was muy caliente, we got our cookie, which we're going to be eating afterwards, and we got our drink, all for taxes included, $6.77. So it's just above Mary Brown's and just below Popeyes. So in terms of value, this is the best value. I don't think there's anything negative in terms of the combo itself. I would say the bread, if it was slightly toasted with the butter, it might have just put it over the top. I think I'm gonna give this a 9 out of 10. If the bread was toasted, I might have given it a 10 out of 10. But it's 9 out of 10, nearly perfect. KFC, you really wowed me. I thought your chicken was trash, but apparently it's not. So big shout out to the KFC on Steeles and Main. Please visit them. They're super nice people. They have super great customer service. I can't say anything more about this location. Our last stop is a stop that we both haven't been to before, so it's going to be interesting. We're going to be going to Church's Chicken. Hallelujah.
the last stop. We're at church. It's chicken. So I'm gonna take a bite and then I'll talk to you about the experience afterwards. It's going to be epic.
And hot too.
Save me, Lord. Save me. Oh my gosh. I need a moment. So I don't typically eat biscuits, but it looks like it's homemade, so I'm gonna try it. We're already devouring the chicken. It's pretty much almost done.
Yep.
I'm gonna eat that afterwards, but I'm gonna try this biscuit first. Let's just see that.
Whoa.
Ooh.
Turn it the other side so they can see the butter.
See that?
Yeah.
Need this little lightly buttered there. Ooh. Let's just try these fries while I'm here. My goodness gracious. What is life right now? I spent a day eating chicken with my babe. Oh my gosh.
There's a lot of love in the little bag.
So much love. Oh.
Hallelujah. We found the promised land.
I don't even know how to process life right now. I was supposed to write down notes, so I'm just gonna walk through points and talk about it. Obviously, I don't even have to. Just give me a moment. Okay, so in terms of crispiness, this is probably the best ratio of crispiness to tenderness and juiciness. I know I'm tagging them together, but like when you bite into the chicken, I've never experienced something so crunchy and yet so juicy at the same time. Like in terms of the thickness and the coat, it wasn't coated too heavy. The shape and the size was fantastic. As you saw in the previous picture beforehand, we got a nice big thigh, we got a nice big leg. The fries and the biscuit. Oh, the biscuit. Fantastic. So in terms of crispiness, that's gonna be like a, let's see, the other one got 7. I'm got 8. This is 9. I'm saying it's a 10. Like, it's a 10. In terms of crispiness, the shape and size, I'm a big dude. I'd love a bigger leg, so I'm just gonna give it a 9 out of 10. But in terms of like the shape, the size, the portion, it's fantastic. Tenderness and juiciness, it wasn't really oily. There was some oil, but in terms of like oiliness, it was less than KFC and Popeyes. That's what I remember. It's too much chicken to process all day. It was fantastic. I'm gonna give that a 9 out of 10 because it was fantastic. The price point. This one was $9.23, and I removed the drink just because we've already had so many drinks today. But if we were to add the drink, it would be $9.93, so just under $10. It is a bit up there in terms of the selection for today, but the good thing is I realized that even though you're paying a little more for Church's chicken, it's all about the value and the quality of the food. Like, I'll take this quality and pay the $10 anyway. So I'm taking 10 out of 10. Like, this is pretty much the clear winner. I'm feeling the itis, all this chicken, all these fries. Bonus points for the fries, right, Janelle?
Yes.
They're biscuit though. I can't even, like, I'm not a biscuit guy. I didn't even eat the biscuit at Popeyes. She ate the biscuit. But I took the bigger piece. I will be back to eat some more. And I'm gonna be back to try some more chicken. Hey everyone, you've reached the back half of the video where I will give you my final rankings in the description box below. Like this video if you enjoyed it. Comment below about any of the places that you've been. Are there any other chicken places that I missed out on? Because You know, I was a little chicken crazy that day. So if there's any good chicken spots, let me know. Comment below, subscribe, like, and I will talk to you guys next week.